Hi, so for week 4, we learned about recruitment and selection and employee turnovers. So for the first question, can you think of an instance at a current or recent job for which turnover was a function of not hiring the right person? So at my current job, we've honestly had a lot of turnover. I've been here for about 2.5 years and I've probably seen maybe 7 to 9 employees leave. Either they were already working there and quit, or they got hired and it just did not work out and they ended up leaving the position. One of the employees that come to mind when I think of not hiring the right person is this medical assistant we hired last year. I honestly feel like it just didn't work out because she was underqualified and they never really checked her references to the positions she claimed she was in. So she got hired, and in her resume said that she was a medical assistant for more than 5 years, had experience in all of these different offices, worked at a cardiologist. So when we hired her on, she just seemed very not understanding of what our processes were. And it went more beyond our office did things different than her office. She didn't know simple medical terminology that everyone kind of should know. She also worked at a cardiologist, so she should have been doing EKGs, echoes, and I actually went in with her because she was going to do an EKG on a patient, and I had to observe her because she newly hired. We just wanted to see if she knew what she was doing, and she did it completely wrong. And mind you, we have on our EKG cart a diagram of like where to put all the stickers, and she did it so not how you should. And that was a very basic thing compared to her experience level, that should not have been messed up. She also, as she was doing it, was inappropriately handling the patient. So I had to actually step in and stop her from finishing the EKG because it should not be on the patient of, hey, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. That's our fault. We should not have put her in this position or put the patient in that position. So I feel like there was just not ever a check of knowledge. There was not a time where where my company tried to see if her skills fulfill this role. She also just didn't really align with our company culture at all. We're a hardworking office, but we're also kind of laid back. People tend to get along. We're not a big office, so everyone knows everyone. And right off the bat, she was very combative with people and very where if we were going to do something in this time matter, she had a complete different expectation and had kind of this, well, I know one of the doctors that works here. You guys can't touch me. You can't bother me. And we're like, no one's trying to bother you. We're trying to make sure you're doing your job correctly. And she just kind of had a very bad attitude from the start, especially not having all the skills and experience we were looking for. So that was just a bad fit and did not work out for anyone involved. And have I ever experienced false advertising for a potential job? I wouldn't say I've experienced full false advertising in the sense where the job description was wrong, but I have seen in the past where the pay is different from what it says on their post, where especially when I was looking for different medical assisting jobs, a lot of them were hiring $5 more an hour, $7 more an hour, these great opportunities. So I would look into it, start the process, and as much as I complain about my current job, I would want to leave in the right circumstances. So I wouldn't just leave for a position that would be the exact same with the exact same pay. I wouldn't want to leave for a position also the exact same with less pay. It just wouldn't be worth it. I'm comfortable with my um, employee. I'm comfortable with my coworkers. I'm comfortable with the people I work under. So these opportunities being posted that were substantially higher in pay, I would be intrigued with. Through the interview process, I'd be very candid of what my expectations were, what pay I was looking for, what pay I believed they were offering. And it would always be like, oh no, so we actually start you, and it'd be lower than what I'm making. And you could work up to that. And it was very false advertising in the sense where on your post, you're putting that as your base pay. You're not putting that as your average or what you can get to. So it's kind of just pulling people in when it's not accurate from the start. So that got very frustrating when I was looking for new roles. And the third question is, why do organizations use unstructured interviews despite their relatively low validity? I honestly think that companies continue to use unstructured interviews simply because they produce more natural conversation flow. I feel like it allows the employer to see the potential hire in more of a personal light, and it can lead to more genuine responses. I had an unstructured interview when I applied for Staples a few years back, and I really think it helped make the whole interview more comfortable. It showed the interviewer who I was, besides just re-highlighting my resume or re-explaining what I have done, what I like, where I've gone to school, what I've done in past jobs, and let them see me more as a person that they're hiring. I understand the low validity, but I do feel like it can be helpful when you're hiring the person, because anyone can just read the resume, you can ask the questions, you can ask the structured questions, which I still think they should do, but a sense of unstructured, I feel, is benefit in the long run, because you can really get to know the person beyond the resume. And at the end of the day, that's the person that's going to be in the role, because anyone can boast themselves up in an interview, dress their best, perform their best, and put their best foot forward. But then in the job, they might not present themselves that way every single day. That there's a different standard from your interview self to how you actually are at work. And it could be very similar, but I feel an unstructured shows you more in a sense of a true light of who that person is. Those are my answers. Thank you.